Okay, today we'll be answering question 2. Consider the following argument. Intuition only comes from much study now or in the past or both. Therefore, if you don't have much study in the past, intuition requires much study now. A. Is the argument valid? Okay, looking at the first statement, we have an or statement, which is intuition comes from much study now or in the past. And in the second part, it's claimed that if you don't have much study in the past, intuition requires much study now. So that is true. So we could say this is valid because the only other option is to have much study now if you don't have it in the past. We know that from our first or statement. So we'll say, yes, it's valid for A. Translate it into formal logic and prove your answer to A. Okay, so translate it into formal logic. First thing we do is we let P equal intuition comes from much study now, and Q equals intuition comes from much study in the past. Okay, so first things first, we look at our first statement, and we have an or, and since we know it's or both, it's not an exclusive or, it's a full or. So with our P and Q, we say P or Q as our first argument, and then we say not Q because our next part is if you don't have much study in the past, and Q is much study in the past, so not Q. And our last bit is intuition requires much study now, which is P. So that will be our formal logic. And to prove our answer, we need to write them like this. So we have to combine each arguments with ands and make them imply the last argument. So I've redone that here, and for it to be valid, we need a tautology, which means it needs to be true in all cases. So I've done parts of the truth table to help us figure that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this and we're going to figure out the rest of the truth table. So first things first, this one implies P, so false implies true, and that is true. False implies true, false and true. Yep, so then the next one is true implies true, which is true. And now the next one is false implies false, which is also true. And the last one is false implies false, true again. And therefore, tautology. So